My name is Mark Ellerby. I write about planes, not the fancy kind with lie-flat seats, the broken ones. Crashes, missing flights, pilot mistakes, anything people stop talking about after a few days. I used to work for a newspaper. Then I had a breakdown. Now I run a small blog. A few hundred regulars read it. It's enough. 3 months ago, I read a news brief about a small charter plane, Flight 314, that vanished on a route from Whitehorse to Vancouver. 4 people on board. Clear weather. No mayday. Just gone. That's not normal. Planes don't just vanish, especially in Canadian airspace. I bookmarked it, figured I'd look into it later. When I checked back a week later, the article was gone. I contacted a guy I knew at Nav Canada. He owed me a favor. He sent me basic radar data. The official flight path said the plane flew straight south, but the radar data showed something else. The plane veered west after about 40 minutes. Then the signal cut out. No altitude drop, no turn back, just stopped. I called around, no one was talking. Not the airline, not the local authorities. I got short emails, vague answers. Under investigation. Nothing further to share. So I kept going. I found the pilot's name, Tom Reiner. Flew small charters for over 10 years. No accidents. His sister Dana lived in Edmonton. I emailed her. She called me the next day. He called me the morning of the flight, she said. Said something felt wrong. She didn't know what he meant. He didn't explain. Just told her he was uneasy. She also said there was a 5th person on board. I know what was in the news, 4 people. But Tom told me someone else got on at the last minute. No name. Just walked on and handed the gate staff some kind of clearance. Letter. She tried getting answers after the disappearance. The airline stopped answering her calls. Then they stopped returning her messages entirely. Things got strange after that. I requested the plane's maintenance logs. A few days later, someone broke into my apartment. They didn't take anything. Not my laptop, not my camera. Not even the cash I stupidly kept in a kitchen drawer. But the folder with my Flight 314 notes? Gone. Cleaned out. I thought maybe I'd misplaced it. But then I noticed my front lock had been scratched, like someone forced it open with a tool. That night, an envelope was slid under my door. No stamp, no name. Typed on a single sheet of paper. Stop asking questions. I drove up to the airstrip, where the plane departed. A hangar guy named Rob agreed to talk, but only off the record. That aircraft shouldn't have flown, he said. We flagged it for transponder issues a week before, so why did it fly? Someone signed it off, he said. From higher up, one of the corporate names I didn't recognize. I asked for a copy of the report. He said he'd deleted it after the flight vanished. Didn't want to be involved. Back in Vancouver, I wrote up a draft. It wasn't perfect, but it had enough to raise eyebrows. Radar logs, Dana's testimony, Rob's statement. I emailed it to 3 people I trusted. No replies. 1 email bounced back. Account not found. I called Dana. Her number was disconnected. Tried logging into my blog to post the draft. The page was down. When I contacted the hosting company, they told me I'd submitted a deletion request. I hadn't. That's when I stopped sleeping. I'd sit by the window and listen to street noise. Kept thinking about that last minute of radar data. A hard veer west. No drop, no signal bounce. Like the plane hit something that didn't leave a trace. I remembered Dana's voice. He said something didn't feel right. And that extra passenger, who didn't want to be on record. I printed out everything I still had. Paper copies, backup flash drive. I mailed them to Dana's last address. The envelope came back a week later. Return to sender, no such number. I packed a bag and left the city, stayed in motels, used cash. I didn't know who I was hiding from. I didn't even know if anyone was looking for me, but I couldn't shake the feeling that someone had wanted this flight forgotten, and they were doing a good job of it. Eventually, I stopped chasing it. I posted one final story on a free throwaway site. It said, Flight 314 didn't crash. It was redirected. I don't know where or why. I only know someone doesn't want it found. They pulled records. They made people disappear. If this post goes offline, you'll know I was right. Here's what I have: radar, logs, testimony. Decide for yourself. Then I shut my laptop. That was 2 months ago. I still get emails from people asking for updates. I don't answer. There are I travel a lot, mostly for photography. Old buildings, empty streets, crumbling churches, that kind of thing. I also run a small blog, nothing huge. A few thousand people follow for the photos and the stories I post with them. Sometimes I get paid gigs. Most of the time, I'm just passing through. Last September, I was in Cincinnati to shoot an abandoned church scheduled for demolition. It was supposed to be a quick stop. 1 night, maybe 2. Every hotel downtown was full because of some tech expo. I ended up booking a place called the Dunning Hotel. Cheap, off the main strip, and honestly looked like it hadn't been updated since the early 90s, but it was available. And I've stayed in worse. The front desk guy barely looked up when I walked in, just handed me a key, an actual key, not a card, and mumbled something about the elevator sticking. My room was on the second floor, room 209. The hallway smelled like bleach and rust. The carpet squished a little when I stepped on it, like someone had spilled something that never dried. I opened the door. The room was small. Faded yellow wallpaper, heavy curtains, a TV that didn't work. The bed looked clean, which was all I cared about. I dropped my bag, took a few photos for the blog. Old lamp, broken phone, creepy mirror. I even made a dumb joke in the caption: "If I disappear, start with this place." That night, around 2:15 a.m., I heard footsteps outside my door. Not walking, dragging, like someone half limping down the hallway. I sat up and listened. The sound stopped outside my room. I waited. No knock, no footsteps moving away. Just silence. Got up, opened the door. Hall was empty. Next morning, I saw a maid in the stairwell and asked her, "What's the story with room 209? She paused. Then she said, "They don't usually put people in that one." I asked why. She just shrugged and walked away. Back in my room, I started Googling. Not much on the hotel. It wasn't even on Google Maps anymore, just buried under a TripAdvisor listing with no recent reviews. I found an old forum thread from 2004 about a woman who disappeared from room 209. No body, no trace. Police said maybe she ran off. Family said she was stable, had no reason to. I found 3 more stories like that. Different years. Always room 209. I figured it made for a decent blog entry. I wrote up a post. Haunted hotel or bad luck, and added my room shots. Nothing dramatic, just observations. That night, I set up my phone to record while I slept. I don't usually do that, but something felt off. I woke up around 7 a.m. The closet door was wide open. I didn't remember opening it. I checked the video. At 3:14 a.m. I sat up, got out of bed, and walked straight to the closet. Then I just stood there for 47 minutes, swaying a little. Then I went back to bed. I had no memory of it. I replayed the video 3 times. Near the end, there's a single frame, just one, where something appears in the mirror behind me. A face, close, pressed against the glass. Mouth open, eyes wrong. Gone the next second. That was the first time I felt scared. Real scared. I packed up my stuff and tried to check out, but no one was at the front desk. The lobby was empty, phone dead, Wi-Fi gone. My service bar had a red X through it. I went back upstairs. That's when I noticed something behind the closet wall. The wood was loose, like someone had kicked it in. I pulled it back and found a gap, like a hidden maintenance shaft, just a few feet wide. Inside, I found a phone, old, scratched, still powered on. Gallery had 24 videos, All of them filmed in this room. Different women, all alone, talking to the camera, some laughing, most nervous. One video showed a girl whispering, "Don't look at the mirror, don't listen if it knocks." Another one showed someone screaming, running at the door and which didn't open. The last video was blurry, just a girl curled up in the corner whispering over and over, "It doesn't like when you leave." I ran. Tried the elevator. It came. Doors opening slow. I hit the lobby button. The elevator dropped, then jerked to a stop. Doors opened. I was back on the second floor. But something was wrong. The hallway looked older, dustier. Lights flickered. The carpet was torn up, like no one had walked here in years. I stepped out. All the room doors were closed. No numbers. Except mine. 9. I ran to the stairwell, blocked by a locked gate. I started hearing sounds. Scratching, whispering, something crawling. Back in the room, I locked the door, sat on the bed, tried not to cry. Then the mirror went black, not like it turned off, like it swallowed light. I couldn't see my reflection. Then a shape moved behind. A hand pressed against the glass. Long fingers, wrong angles, then it started tapping. Slow. Rhythmic. 3 knocks. Pause. 3 knocks again. I covered the mirror with the blanket. Sat in the bathroom for an hour holding my phone even though it was still dead. I must have passed out. I woke up to sunlight. The door opened easily. Wi-Fi was back. My phone had one new notification. Instagram had posted a story from my account. A photo of me in the mirror, smiling. The closet door wide open behind me. I left without checking out. Took a train to a friend's place in Dayton. I didn't tell her what happened. Just said I was feeling off. I didn't post the footage. I didn't mention the hotel again. That night I started getting comments on the blog post. Is this real? She's next. Room 209 got another one. I deleted the post, but it didn't help. The video, the one with me at the closet, it started circulating. I never uploaded it, but someone did. Now it's everywhere. Sometimes I wake up standing in closets, in bathrooms. My phone takes pictures when I'm sleeping. I see faces in the background. The hotel doesn't show up online anymore. No bookings, no address. But every now and then, someone tags me in a new post. Different city, different hotel, always the same number. Room 209. I never really believed in identity crises. Seemed like a dramatic term for people who needed something to post about. I had 2 parents, a decent job, and a 1-bedroom apartment with a crooked floorboard I always tripped over in the dark. Life was fine, boring maybe, predictable, until the DNA test. It started as a joke, a team-building gimmick from HR. Find your roots Friday. Everyone in the office got a 23 true test kit. Spit in a tube, mail it off, and in a few weeks, learn. You're 4% Scandinavian or whatever. I didn't expect anything, just hoped for an excuse to say I was part Viking. 3 weeks later, the email came in. Your results are ready. I clicked the link while waiting for my lunch to microwave. 0 matches, not just with my family, why, with anyone. The site said it couldn't find a single immediate or extended relative, like I'd been dropped from the sky. I stared at the screen thinking there had to be a mistake. So I tried again. Different service this time. Gene form, new sample, new test, same process. 2 weeks later, same result. No biological relationship, found to submitted parent profiles. I didn't tell my parents. I wasn't ready for that conversation. Instead, I requested my birth certificate. It arrived 2 days later. Place of birth, Portland General. Only there were no hospital records to back that up. I called, emailed, even showed up at the records office. They had no record of a Theo Granger being born there. Nothing. No delivery. No infant registration. Nada. I work in cybersecurity. I know how to look for hidden things. I dug into archived Oregon health registries, and that's when I found it. a line item under Infant Transfers, Emergency Facilities 1997. One entry stood out. Granger, tourist rerouted from Dellingham Family Wellness Center. I had never heard of Dellingham. A 2-hour drive south buried in forest and fog. I found some grainy forum posts about a fire there in '97. The wellness center burned down. 6 infant fatalities. No survivors, except maybe me. I took a Friday off and drove out early. Dellingham looked like it had been half forgotten by time. Old gas station, a diner called Marlene's, and a boarded-up general store. The wellness center ruins sat behind a chain-link fence. Burnt walls still stood in some places. The roof was long gone. Vines crawled over scorched bricks like they were trying to erase the place. I parked and climbed the fence. Inside, everything was cold stone and ash. In the back, where the basement stairs had collapsed, I found a crawl space and dropped into it. The air was still. Not dusty. Still. Like the space had never breathed again after the fire. I don't know why I started digging in the debris. Maybe because I needed something real. Something to confirm I wasn't insane. And I found it. A photo, sealed in melted plastic. 6 babies lined up in clear cribs, each marked with a black number, 1 through 6. The 4th baby, the one in the middle. I knew that face. I had a baby photo just like it in my mom's photo album, down to the faint freckle near the eye. I found a name under the scorched paper. Project Thalos. Back in town, I tracked down a local historian named David Keel. He worked in the back of the library, surrounded by shelves of forgotten maps and microfilm. I showed him the photo. His face went gray. They called them the clean children, he said. Whole thing was hush-hush, funded by some biotech firm, maybe even state-backed. It wasn't just a wellness center. They were experimenting, trying to build better people. I didn't say anything. Rumor was, he continued, they picked certain kids, altered them, changed things. Behavior, immunity, intelligence. One day, fire, all records gone, everyone shut up. Anyone ever investigated? They tried, but by the time the feds got involved, the key players vanished. Doctor leading it, Rena Kale, moved to the East Coast, changed her name. I drove back home with that photo burning a hole in my bag. That night I asked my mom if she remembered anything strange about my birth. She went silent. Then her hand started shaking. "You're my son," she said. "But we didn't give birth to you. They said it was legal, confidential adoption. We were just so desperate to have a baby." I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just nodded and went to my room. My laptop was open. I hadn't left it that way. The next day, the hard drive was wiped. 2 days later, an envelope arrived. No return address. Inside, a single sheet of paper. "Don't go any further. You are lucky to be who you are." I didn't sleep that night. Or the next. I contacted a journalist who covered medical corruption. Sent him copies of the photo, my birth records, everything I had. He agreed to meet the following Friday. Thursday night, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. He won't be coming. I checked the news. The journalist, Dan Rivera, had been reported missing. Last seen outside his apartment, I packed a go bag the next morning and disappeared. Hotels, cash only. Burner phones, but I wasn't done. I dumped everything online. Encrypted files, time-stamped research logs, names, photos, Reddit, Twitter, hacker forums. The story went viral for a day. Some people believed me, most didn't. Conspiracy theorist, hoaxer, mental breakdown. The usual, but I kept watching, waiting. 3 months later, I was in a city I won't name, sitting in a park just before sunset. I saw a boy chasing pigeons. Couldn't have been older than 5. Same freckle by his eye, same jawline, same wide stare when he saw me. His mother caught up to him. She looked at me, confused at first. Then her face changed. Recognition. She took the boy's hand and walked away. No words, just a slow, knowing nod. They didn't make just one of us. I don't know how many are out there, but they're watching, and they never stopped.